What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. The Ex Diris might be the most underrated weapon in Destiny 2 right now. At the beginning of the new season, this weapon had adjustments made to its functionality, and at the same time, grenade launchers received several beneficial artifact mods that have really pushed the use of grenade launchers here in Revenant. This exotic grenade launcher saw improvements made to its projectiles and how they interact with gravity, and now these projectiles don't get pulled down to the ground as fast, which means you'll be more accurate when aiming at targets who are further away. Bungie increased the rate in which the Ex Diris will create moth buddies, and these will now be created after landing 2 direct hits, and that's on top of creating one whenever securing final blows. There is a 3-second cooldown between the creation of moth buddies, but this change has significantly increased the overall damage output of the Ex Diris, as each moth buddy will inflict a base amount of 525 points of damage. Enemies who are within close proximity of a moth buddy detonation will become blinded, which will stun unstoppable champions. To those who are unfamiliar with the Ex Diris, this grenade launcher replicates the weapons used by the Boomer Knights. It lobs out an arc projectile that deals 372 points of base impact damage and 312 points of base explosive damage. But one of the biggest benefits to this weapon is that you never have to manually reload, as it will automatically pull its next shot directly from the reserves. And whenever using 3 reserve chest mods, you would see a maximum of 40 rounds, but those can go very quickly. So if you're running the Ex Diris, I would recommend equipping special finder mods, and possibly even a special finisher mod. Whenever landing hits with the Ex Diris, or whenever taking incoming damage, the Ex Diris will build up an enrage charge. It'll take 4 direct hits to max out this enrage, and as the enrage gets stronger, the rate of fire of the Ex Diris will increase, providing you with as much as a 40% increase to the rate of fire. So in many ways you could compare this to the Merciless fusion rifle, as its rate of fire increases as you land consecutive shots, and the Merciless has for a long time been a great option for optimal damage. Even though the weapon's rate of fire increases, the projectiles won't receive any bonus damage, but with a significant increase to this weapon's rate of fire, you'll be able to pump out some serious levels of damage. Once unlocking its catalyst, you'll be able to build up that enrage twice as fast whenever you're amplified, and final blows with this weapon will grant amplified, so this will have a lot of natural synergy with both arc and prismatic builds. When using this exotic against the Grasp of Avarice Ogre boss, the Ex Diris was able to put up around 2.7 million points of damage in just one phase. That does include the bonuses provided by Radiance, weapon surges, and a debuff from Tether, but that's a lot of damage for a special grenade launcher. And when used in a single damage phase against the Servitor boss in Vesper's Host, the Ex Diris was able to put up around 2.5 million points of damage in just 20 seconds. So not only does the Ex Diris provide you with an excellent option for crowd control, but it's an absolute monster at dealing out high levels of damage. And you could easily integrate this into a build that revolves around bait and switch. The Ex Diris might have a unique connection with the Moth Keepers, but you shouldn't look at this as a hunter-exclusive grenade launcher. With the ability to blind large groups of enemies in an instant, this would make a terrific weapon to pair up with a prismatic consecration build, a Rhymecoat raiment build, or even the Getaway Artist. There's honestly a lot of builds that would benefit from the use of this grenade launcher, especially when you take into account all the new artifact mods. With concussive reload, the Ex Diris will cause high-value targets to become weakened, which will instantly boost the damage output of the Ex Diris by 15%. There's also Conductive Cosmic Crystal, which grants a 5% bonus in damage to any arc abilities whenever they're used against slowed and frozen targets. This wouldn't increase the damage of the projectiles, but it would increase the damage of the Moth Buddy explosions. There's also a new artifact mod that will be coming out next week, called Arc Compounding, which will increase the damage dealt by any arc weapon or ability whenever it's used against a blinded target. This lines up perfectly with the Ex Diris, but it can also be combined with Conductive Cosmic Crystal, which would really bump up this grenade launcher's performance. So if you haven't given the Ex Diris a try here in Revenant, you really need to do so, because this thing is absolutely incredible right now. That's going to wrap things up for today's video, but I wish you all the best of luck out there. Let me know your thoughts on the Ex Diris and all those new artifact mods coming out next week. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.